Hello, everyone. Hi. It's not like me to do two lives 2 days in a row. I see my remote's over there. Okay. But that goes to whataboutism. Now, there's a fundamental problem with oneness when this occurs. Well, not the problem with oneness, but with our understanding of unity consciousness when this occurs, because when we are thinking about all the other situations and scenarios that are around a subject when someone comes to us with their pain or their suffering or their experience, their genuine current moment experience. And you are immediately brought to thinking about everything else that's led up to that moment, everything else around that moment, or these situations that are offshoots of that experience. What happens is you end up not being able to hear the emotion, hear the human calling out for love that is coming from the other person. So this is the case in relationships. And hi, Ale from Romania. It's lovely to have you here. Thank you for being here. But we don't hear the other person when we are focused on our own yes, you have had this experience, but I had this other experience, right? So it's an arguing for who's the more victim state, who's the one who has suffered more, etc. And Vagrein clearly wants to talk about this topic today, um, and share perhaps what it is that would be a more aligned perspective when someone comes to you with pain, someone comes to you with a situation that they would like to have remedied. This can happen on the micro level, in the family, even in oneself, ultimately. But obviously, is also being played out on the macro level because we are wanting to address this particular energy in this now moment. And my understanding is that we have space for all of it. We have space and we can hold space for everyone to have their pain heard. And in fact, it's absolutely necessary for us to come to a space where we are able to hold all of that pain and hurt so that it doesn't turn into anger. Anger is often a mask for pain and hurt. And so a lot of what we are seeing in terms of violence or aggression in the world right now is the pain that hasn't been held, hasn't been heard either by the person themselves or by those around them or by those of us who actually have space to hold that, as opposed to turning our own pain or reflecting back our own pain and our own anger and allowing this ball to keep rolling in that direction. Hi, Otto. Hi, Michael. And early in the morning for you, Michael. So good morning, or good night. But please stay up for the rest of this transmission. I'm going to get into it right in a moment now, because it is very strong. And on a personal level, I've been trying to figure out, how can I hold space for more people, for more beings? And I want to take this moment to invite any of my viewers, people who do feel in connection or resonance with Vagrein, who are currently in areas of the world that are experiencing conflict, to reach out to me. And we can have a conversation about how to set up a situation where your pain is being able to be heard. And by pain, I don't even mean entirely the large scale things that you're experiencing if you are in a part of the world that is currently experiencing war, conflict, destruction, etc. But also those regular, everyday aspects of being a human being, that pain that you have when there is a disappointment on a small level, small scale. When we are confronted with huge change or huge and very challenging experiences in life, often what can happen is we don't make space for those of us who are doing okay, who do have the strength to get through it on their own. If you're able to be supported by Vagrein's messages, if you're able to be in resonance with Vagrein's messages, and you do feel like reaching out to me as Jessie, personally and sharing a little bit of your experience with me so that maybe it's not as heavy and maybe there isn't someone around you right now who can hold that for you, then please do shoot me off an email and we'll try and find a way so that you can feel better and then you can then support all those around you who also need that light to be shared with you. So please do reach out if you are facing or living in a spot of the world that is currently facing conflicts and hardship. So let's get straight to Vagrein. And thank you all for being here, those of you who are here. And hi, Klaus and Val and Olsonster. Hello from Sweden. Hello. So yes, and I will get on to the channeling right now. So I will see you guys in just a little bit. Let me make sure my phone is silent, although it normally is. And we'll get going. I didn't draw a card today. Our Vagrion's really quite like insistent about getting this session out quickly. So thank you all for watching yesterday's. That was a powerful session as well. So I will see you guys in just a little while and enjoy whatever comes through. Good now to you to all. Today, this now, we feel because of the request there is to share what is, perhaps in a concise description, occurring for you in this now on your planet. As you look around, both in your personal day-to-day experiences and having access to so much of what does not touch you on a personal level, but that is in your collective field. It seems to you to be that the suffering or the potential for suffering is augmenting or risen somewhat. That this energy is closing in on you. At times, you may go about your day in relative comfort without coming across those who are in pain, but even walking down the street of any of the major cities, you can see that there are beings who do not have enough food, do not have shelter, do not have their basic needs addressed, met, and do not seem to be able to meet those needs, meet these requirements for their survival in an adequate fashion. There is no reason for this suffering. Yes, we speak often of the law of attraction and that it is your vibration that calls those things that are of your preference. It is the choosing to be in alignment with yourself that can call those things that are of your preference more swiftly towards you. But there are those whose vibration and whose hope or faith or will has taken so much downward momentum that there is great difficulty in pulling oneself up. And this too is not a reason for the suffering. In other words, you cannot say about these people, well, if they only applied the law of attraction better, they would be where I am. That is not appropriate. And the reason is because they too are in soul contract with you, simply to show you more of who you are, what you are. Not in a shameful way, not that you have things better off and they have things worse. Beings in conflict in other regions are not in soul contract with you for you to feel shame about how you are privileged. They are not in soul contract with you so that you can be their savior from a position of believing you know better. They are in soul contract with you so that you, in the witnessing of their experiencing and in the emotion that comes up around that, in your sifting and deciding what it is that you prefer for them and for yourself, you can make that choice. Know that you only have your perspective on reality. You only have your pinhole to look through, and that pinhole is conditioned by everything you have experienced in this particular incarnation, in this now moment. It is conditioned by the parents that you had, by the relations you had as a child, by everything that you have touched and heard and seen and tasted. It is conditioned by what you have been taught. It is conditioned by the beliefs of those around you, whether those beliefs serve them or not. So you cannot truly ever know the experience that another self is having. But you do and can listen. Listening is a superpower. For as one tells you of what is causing them pain, and you are able to listen without judgment, without justifying the situations that led to their pain, you can, at that point, learn something fundamental about them, about themselves, and about you. If you are listening to the pain of another and you are dismissing it, and you are saying that they deserved it, or that it makes sense that whatever occurred to them occurred, whether it be they have pain because of a physical ailment, and you think, well, had they lived their life in a different way, they would have been well. Or would it be that they have pain because of a conflict? And you think, well, had they not started it, they would not be in pain and their life would be well. You are not saying anything about that other being, but you are saying much about yourself. You are showing yourself where you are not yet seeing the other as yourself, or where you are not yet loving yourself. For if you are seeing that other self as you see yourself, and you are saying that their pain is justified in any way or shape or form, then you too believe that if you were in their shoes and had had their exact conditioning and situations and circumstances, that you too merit the pain that they are experiencing. None of you merit pain. Pain is simply an indication that your preference is outside of what is occurring, that a change is needing to be taken place. The pain that you're seeing around the world, and often, yes, represented in the most innocent of you, or that term is even incorrect, because implying that there is an innocent implies that there is a guilty party, and that the pain should be reserved only for the guilty. It is punitive. It is judgmental. The pain is for each and every one of you to wake up. And how can you wake up to the messages that this pain is trying to share with you if you are not able to hold it? If you are not able to feel it without judgment, without saying that it is deserved. When you can feel the pain of your brothers and sisters, you can receive the message that it is trying so hard, and the circumstances that have created it, that are proved of by isness itself, is trying so hard to share with you. How many beings have to call out for your compassion before you learn that they are you? Before you make concrete decisions? That you will love unconditionally? What other plan do you have? Do you truly believe that conflicts can end by simply eliminating one of the parties in the conflict? Do you truly believe that beings compromising on their desires is the solution for conflict? This is an old plan that you have, an old and non-functional concept that does not take into account that there is an energy, a desire that you as a collective have to not only not feel the pain any longer, but to not provoke it in one another. So the next time anyone comes to you with their devastation, their fear, their sense of being defeated by the experience of being human and being in a world where there is so much pain inflicted deliberately, though by no fault. What if you chose to simply go into that pain with them, to hold that space, to tell them they are correct? Because the fact that they are in pain is enough proof that they are correct to be in it. You do not need to justify your suffering. And asking one to do so augments that energy. Anytime and any place someone is in pain, you can afford to be there with them. And yes, there is that fear that it may reduce your vibration. It may make your point of attraction lower temporarily, but ultimately, you are training yourself that you are strong, that you are not afraid of your feelings, that you are willing to listen to the energy that is coming through them. And you are strong. Put down your arms. The pain is not your enemy. You do not ultimately have an enemy aside from that which is in yourself. That idea within you that something is more urgent, more important, more righteous than being love. You can do no harm by being love. Unselectively, openly, to whatever is right in front of you. It is not your job to fix the world. It is not your job to save the world. It is your job to evolve your own self and shine that light to all other selves. If you were to have a job. Of course, this is a choice. But we are hearing this call and we are sharing this message to remind anyone with whom this resonates how to realign to what is within you. There is no what about this, what about that. If someone is sharing their experience with you, your only task is to reach into yourself. And regardless of what you think, seek, search, and find that love. We have faith, deep faith in all those who do hear these messages. And we hear in your heart what you truly want. With that, we leave you the light and the love of 1,000 suns. Anaina. So, hi guys. I'm back and it felt like a beautiful transmission. Felt a little stern and a little straightening wobbles a little bit sort of what's that term? Where you're being told that you know better, or like a parent or a teacher says, I expect more from you. You know better than this. I have faith in you. And there's that energy of, I don't know if you had that experience as a kid, but when your teacher does expect more from you or your parent does expect more from you, there's that vibration of like, when you're feeling confident and good about yourself, they're right. Like, if you get a very low grade on a test, um, there's that, oh, gee, you know what, they're right. And I know they're only saying these things because they love me and they want what's best for me. And then there's that slight defensive um, aspect of feeling called out and feeling a bit shameful about any energy that wasn't in alignment. And that's kind of where I sit on a fence with Vagrein sometimes, because they do tend to call me out, and people that I have meetings with, but they do tend to call me out anytime that I'm not in alignment with my own values, with my own, um, you know, practicing what I preach, and being the light that I often want to share with others. If in my own personal life I'm falling off track, they do that. We expected more from you, and I'm grateful for that faith. Okay, so if any of you ever feel called out by your own inner being or by someone like Vagrian, or that's that sensation of, I didn't do it right today. I wasn't as loving as I could be today. And I know this happens to me also in terms of my parenting and stuff like that. Like, I can go to bed at some days and be like, well, why did I yell at the kids all day? Um, but if you do feel called out, remember to look at that feeling inside of yourself too, that does have that sense of like not good enoughness, or I'm never going to get it rightness, or I've disappointed something myself or someone else, etc. And realize that that area of you needs love first, and is probably what's contributing anyway to the behavior that you're wanting to eventually eliminate. So when I feel called out and I'm like, oh, yeah, I didn't do it right. And I start to like beat up on myself a little bit. I stop and I find that part of me that feels like it's not good enough, or that it can't do better, or that it's been trying its best and nobody understands and blah, blah, blah. And really focus on loving that part first. When I do this, the energies of that not good enoughness, or the unworthiness, or the imperfection, they dissipate, and I have deep forgiveness for myself. And then I find if I then go and reapproach the situation that I was having the difficulty of finding love in, I'm better equipped to bring that to the situation, whether it's something I'm observing externally to myself or something happening in my day-to-day experience. And so that is the work that gets done. Okay, so if that is coming up for you and you are having difficulty with something like that, then that's the work. Once you're already in the situation where you're feeling judgment or feeling anger or expressing anger or feeling resentment against someone who is sharing something with you, or in that space of like what Vagrin was talking about, of not being able to hold the pain of another self, you're already way past you're already way past the moment when you should have started giving yourself love. So do fill your own bucket first, because if you're going out into the world and you're advocating, or you're fighting for, or you're making blanket statements about things that aren't actually affecting you personally, or you're having an opinion. Opinions are really interesting because we think we have opinions when really opinions are just flowing around in the ethers, and we grab onto them based upon our vibration. But if you're already at that point and what you're doing isn't actually serving all, and I really am very much a service to others being, but more so a service to all, because you need to also serve yourself to make sure you're in alignment. Then you really need to take a step back and take a moment with yourself and find that ability to have real compassion outside of your ideas of what that looks like. And that really always starts with yourself. So I want to just check the comments here. Michael says you need this for dealing with divorce. I totally understand that, Michael. Interpersonal relationships are tough. Michelle says hi. Ale says hi. Hello. Chate is here. Hi, Chate. Lovely to see you. I was actually going to send you a message later today. Richard, thank you. Michael, giving direction. Wow, thank you. Powerful message. Lovely. Thank you. Rightening or redirection. I love being called out. Yeah, I love it too. You know, I'm first of all, I tend to call out people. Not really call out. It's more my energy that calls people out. So I do my calling out by being me. But Vagrein really does tend to re-straighten the what needs clearing up. Richard says, can't give away what you don't have. No, you can't. You really, really can't. If you're not in a space of a full bucket. And, you know, guys, feel free to tell this to the people around you. What I've noticed is people do not express to those who love you that your bucket is empty. We push ourselves and push ourselves and push ourselves, and we never give a heads up to those around us who then suffer from us not having a full bucket, that we need help. Okay, so start leaning on the people around you. I do this, you know, with my kids all the time. When I'm getting snappy and I'm getting like overwhelmed and maybe there's a million things going on and they're so like lovely but demanding and have their needs, etc., I will turn around to them and go, guys, I'm at empty. We need to find a way to make mommy okay. It's not your job, but I need to find a way to be okay first, and then I can help you with whatever it is you guys need. So that's super important. Thanks everyone. Yes, anger, resentment, judgment will not cause the change. No. Anger, resentment, and judgment is not going to cause the change. And guys, we are in a amazing moment in history. And it gets offered to our collective often by ourselves. We are calling this into our collective. But you can look around the world right now, your life right now, and see conflict everywhere. Which means that simultaneously, you can look around your life right now and the world right now and see opportunity for you to resolve conflict within yourself everywhere. There is so much stimulus. There is so much opportunity to take anything that is triggering to you and find out what's beneath that trigger, where it is you need to love yourself more, where it is you want to love others more, and really step into this amazing version of yourself. I'm not good at doing it most of the time. I fall off at least twice a day. You know, I'm in a ball mess and the energies are flowing through me and I'm very upset and I'm crying and I am catastrophizing, whatever that word. And then at some point when I've allowed enough of that to seep out and into just the processing through my physical vessel, I get up and I do something like this. I make a video. I contact a friend that might need help. I go back to my service to others. I go back to my service to self. And that is the opportunity. Trigger, response, awareness of response within self, desire to transmutate that response, transmutation, and more light. So guys, I love you guys. Please keep shining your light. Please keep showing up in the most holistic versions that you can in your day-to-day experience with the people you pass in the street. Please analyze the spots in you where there is sneaky, conditioned hatred, even that is in your own being, that is not serving you, first of all, but then anyone, or what we're trying to do here. And what are we trying to do here? We're trying to get to a point where everyone is able to be themselves. Everyone is able to be happy. Everyone is able to enjoy the fruit of being in this human experience. And part of that is the evolution through what we're going through right now. So I'm going to let you guys go. I'm going to go knit. because I have decided that I need to knit a lot of my sweater to raise my vibration on a regular basis, and maybe, watch some comedy on TV. And that is how I'm going to treat myself to for the next hour. And I hope that you all go off and have things in your life that can raise your vibration, even if it's, listening and watching all these videos. I hope that they do serve in some way. Feel free to sign up to come to my next event on December 19th. The tickets are available at www.jpherman.com/events. You're all invited. And yeah, hopefully I'll be able to do a lot more of these lives, because they're, they feel good to me. So hopefully they also feel good to you. Sending all my love, and take care. Bye.